Who individually is under the most pressure in the Cowboys-Eagles showdown?
Dak Prescott. When Ezekiel Elliott doesn't perform, it's because there are injuries on the line or they didn't feed him enough, or it's rarely that he'll get criticized because we know he's great. Jason Garrett, everyone knows his job is probably gone, and he has to at least get to the Super Bowl, right? If not win it. You look around, Carson Wentz got his money. You can look around and single out reason. Dak Prescott is looking to get paid like an elite quarterback. However, they have a franchise tag they can slap on him. Well, you think they're just going to let him walk? No, I don't think they let Dak walk, but they can maybe not make a long-term investment or commitment to him, slap a franchise tag on him. He don't want that. He wants his guaranteed money, I'm quite sure. He is under the most pressure. They just got their first win against a decent team in the Rams. They were at home. Here's the divisional rival. It's for the division. We all knew all along it was going to come down to this against a team decimated by injury, who just by the skin of their teeth got by Washington. Dak Prescott is under the most pressure in this game.
Believe it or not, Max, I'm going to say it's Carson Wentz, primarily because of the kind of things that you've had to say about him, combined with the fact that he's got his money. At some point in time, when we look at the Dallas Cowboys, okay, listen, I can sit up here and joke about the Dallas Cowboys all I want to because I can't stand Cowboy fans. I don't have anything against the Cowboys. That my hatred for Cowboy fans is where it's really at. But when it comes to Dak Prescott, I'm very, very serious when I truly say I want this brother to get his money. I don't like the fact that he's on the football field playing for $2 million right now when the dude is worth $28 to $30 million easy. I don't like it. I'm not comfortable with it. I hate watching him play sometimes because I'm literally scared that something's going to happen to him
before he
gets his money, and I don't like that one bit. So I'm rooting for him to get his money. In the case of Carson Wentz, I don't have to because he already has it. He's the franchise, and although I've continuously chronicled, what kind of disadvantage he's been playing with, because his weapons are out, his three-star weapons, Aguilar, Jeffries, Deshaun Jackson, all out and what have you, and what he has to work with. This game is so pivotal that you got to show up in this game. This is the kind of game where you have to find a way for your will to be imposed to such a degree that you can literally pull it out. Because no matter what happens to the Philadelphia Eagles the rest of this season, they beat the Dallas Cowboys this Sunday. I'm telling you right now, the city of Philadelphia is going to look at Carson Wentz in a different light. There you come up with this victory. This could sit up there and assuage all concerns. This could eliminate a lot of the vitriol that people want to throw in his direction. And what I'm saying is, you take that into consideration. At the end of the day, you look at Carson Wentz, it's about getting it done. You look at what he's working with, you look at what he's working against, you figure it out, and you go from there, because Dak Prescott has a multitude of weapons and a multitude of excuses in the event that it doesn't get done. Kellen Moore, play calling. Jason Garrett, what you allow. Do you give Ezekiel Elliott the ball enough? Oh, by the way, defensively, with your linebackers being suspect from time to time, are they going to show up, etc.? There's a whole bunch of question marks about the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just saying.
No.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, Stephen A. Listen, Carson Wentz has every excuse you can possibly have for a quarterback. And even with that, the last 2 weeks, he's figured out ways to get wins, whether you want to say it's the New York Giants, the Washington Redskins, and these teams aren't good. He found ways to get wins on game-winning drives, one to tie the game in overtime, win it, tie the game and go to overtime, win it in overtime against the Giants. He got a touchdown yesterday against the Washington Redskins to an ex-quarterback who was on the practice squad earlier this season over Josh Norman. Carson Wentz has proven that he can play. Carson Wentz has proven some of that pixie dust that many of us thought Nick Foles had when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles was more than necessarily the rest of the team playing well and Nick Foles fitting in, and it wasn't that Carson Wentz couldn't do these things. And when I look at Dak Prescott, I believe Dak Prescott has done enough, whether it's to get $40 million or $35 million, I'm not sure, but he's shown who he is as a quarterback. This is about Jason Garrett, because Jason Garrett had the unfortunate experience of having the real Dallas Cowboys show up to play the Los Angeles Rams. That's the team that Jerry Jones thought he assembled coming into this year. That's the team and the roster that Jerry Jones paid good money for that said he thought that they could win a championship. And they showed up on Sunday, even after the Mad Clapper didn't make sure that they understood how to handle the coin toss. They didn't put that on Dak Prescott. Much of the chatter was about Jason Garrett not having his team prepared for one of the most simplistic rituals in football. And so now your team goes out and they ball. You do the right thing and you lead with the run, not the stretch run. You go right at the team you're playing, right at the Los Angeles Rams. You make sure that Aaron Donald's taken care of, Michael Brockers is taken care of. The defense plays well. We see the old Sean Lee. And so now, while playing a depleted Philadelphia Eagles that has no weapons on the outside, they're missing their leading rusher. The quarterback is trying to find ways to pull rabbits out of hats each and every week. You can't go lose this game.
Well, can I ask you this question? Because I think it's a philosophical difference here. You know, because I don't disagree with any of the points that you make about Jason Garrett. They're very, very valid. But what I would ask you is this. If you have a guy that has been handed the franchise, and then it's a game of this magnitude, doesn't that matter because you've been handed the franchise at that particular point?
Yeah, I think it matters, but you also have to realize the only reason that this game does matter is because of Carson Wentz's play of late. Because Carson Wentz has found ways with Arcega-Whiteside, with Greg Ward, with Boston Scott, all of these names that we don't even know. Even Zach Ertz is injured yesterday against the Washington Redskins, and he's found ways to win these last two games. He's the only reason they're in position to win this game and take over the NFC East. And when you were mentioning some of the excuses that Dak Prescott will have, Carson Wentz has those. These excuses we're making for Dak are manufactured because we believe certain things about Kellen Moore. We believe certain things about Jason Garrett. The roster that Carson Wentz is playing with right now should not even be on the field with the Dallas Cowboys come this weekend.
Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.